Hello everybody, this is Monty with Flowers by the Bunch. Today I need to make a piece for a funeral. It's going to be a little different than anything I've ever done. I've never made a piece like this before, and it took a little bit of engineering to get this container to hold this foam. So this is a wooden box that we placed. It has a plastic liner in it. We filled it with about this much of plaster of Paris, and we added some gravel to the bottom to give it some weight. We took a wooden cross that we have here in the shop. To turn this piece around, we took a wooden cross and we screwed it into this wooden box, so it would hold an oasis form, an oasis cross form. So this is a cross form that we ordered from the wholesaler. It has been soaked. It does have fresh floral foam attached to the cross, and so we attached it to our wooden cross to give us some stability to hold this arrangement in place. We also took fresh floral foam and added it into the liner that's in the box, so that I am able to make an arrangement in the liner below the cross. Now, our client wanted, this is for a memorial service for his parents. They both passed away, and they passed away several months apart, but they both passed away, and they wanted to do a memorial service for the two of them together. He asked that I make an arrangement to look more like a rose garden. He wants all roses, lots of roses on this cross. I am going to tuck in a few mini green hydrangeas just to give us a little bit of a different color contrast, and a little bit of a different texture in this arrangement. But we are going to take all of our roses and we're going to put them into the fresh floral foam here. I'm going to start out with a little bit of pittosporum, and I am going to take our pit and go all the way around just to give us a little bit of, I don't know, it just needs a little greenery, I think. If you get solid roses, I just feel like it won't be as pretty as it would if we added a little bit of foliage. So I'm going to take my snips and I am going to cut all of the little florets off of this pit. So pittosporum has little florets of greenery. I love pit for that reason. And a lot of times you can just take and pop these off, and then you can still use the different little bracts or florets all the way down the stem. But this works out really well for an arrangement of this type. And even small arrangements, you can certainly use this for smaller arrangements. And you're going to find that this arrangement, I think Owen's going to speed it up a little bit for us. It's just a little bit time consuming when you have to do a solid arrangement of solid flowers. It just takes a lot of time. So I'm going to take these small pieces and I am just going to press them right into the floral foam, kind of going all the way up. Now, pittosporum is a shrub, and it grows here in Mississippi. I don't have any blooming here or growing here. I actually got this from Budsy. But pittosporum comes in a solid green, and then it also comes in this variegated variety, which I think is so pretty. I love the variegated variety. And I can always add more as I need to. And then of course I'm going to do an arrangement down here, but we're going to start out with our cross. Next we're going to come in with some roses. So I think I will come in first with our hydrangeas and give us just a little bit of fullness throughout with the hydrangeas. So I'm going to use some mini green hydrangeas. All right, now I think what that's going to do is just kind of help us break up all the roses because we got lots of roses to put. Next we're going to come in with a red rose. So this is my largest bloom. It's called a red heart rose. It's our largest rose that we have right now. So I'm going to take that rose and kind of blow it open. I'm going to take my knife, cut that stem pretty short, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. And I'm just going to press that right down into that cross form. Now I am not wiring any of these roses. I am just taking that stem, cutting it at an angle, and pressing it right down into that form. But see how large that pretty rose is? It is such a pretty rose. You want to make sure when you go to press them right down into that foam that you press it really deep. We don't want, as we deliver, for anything to fall out. So it's important that you press those really deep down into that foam. Okay, so there's our red roses for right now. I'm going to set these to the side. We're going to use more in the base, but for right now I'm going to set those over to the side. Cleaning off my space. I'm dripping a little bit. Okay, so there's the red ones. Next we're going to come in with some green. So this variety is called green tea. It's really, oh, I dropped one. It's really a very pretty, kind of a light green, almost an apple green, real soft. Again, I'm going to do exactly like I did for my heart. I'm blowing them just so the petals open up just a little. Now this could be one of those times where you could take the stem and kind of just twist it in your hands to get that flower to open. I don't do that often. The only time I like for them to be open is in an arrangement similar to this. I don't want all of the roses blown. When you're making an arrangement, I like for them to be tighter. And if you find any of the roses that have a bump or a bruise, go ahead and pop that petal off. That's what I'm doing here. Again, I'm just taking that rose and turning it upside down and kind of twisting it back and forth in my hand. It's just kind of flaring those petals. All right, next we're going to come in with this beautiful purple rose. Just a really, really pretty purple. It has that pink outer petal. Kelly, do you know the name of the variety of purple we have with the pink outer petal? All right, so there's our purple. Next we're going to come in with some yellow spray roses. So I love that roses come in lots of different varieties. They come in standard roses, which are the larger blooms, and then smaller spray roses. They also come in gardens and in, just lots of different types of roses. But I love the fact that these spray roses are so pretty and bright yellow. And so I'm going to actually take my snips and kind of do it like we did the pittosporum. Cut them into smaller pieces and just kind of tuck them in. I am going to leave a little length on things. I just love the texture of the different sizes. I do think that gives us a lot of, it's just a prettier arrangement when you have different sizes. Okay, next we are going to come in with some wax flower to give us another texture and just another pop of color. So wax flower is a filler flower, and what's interesting about wax, it comes in kind of shades of pinks and purples and whites. What's interesting is if you crush the foliage and you smell it, it smells a little like soap. It's really neat. It's a pretty flower. It's just so pretty. And I thought if we tucked a little bit of wax in, it would give us a little bit of movement and another color. It really matches that purple really pretty. All right. Okay, so there's our cross pretty much. I'm going to step back and look at it and see what I think. See if I see any spots that need something, and I'm seeing a hole kind of right here. So always when you're making an arrangement, especially when you're this close on up to an arrangement, sometimes it's hard to see what it needs, because sometimes it needs something, right? I'm actually going to take another rose. Okay. So for right now, we're going to call the cross finished, and I am going to do a pretty arrangement down here. I'm going to stay in the roses and the hydrangeas, I think. So I'm going to take some pittosporum. So I have that pretty pit. And I am going to pull these in just a little bit so this isn't this wide. We'll play with it. So I am going to start with some mini green hydrangeas. Cut that stem at an angle. Now I don't want to go too far out from the base. It is going to sit on a table that has 2 urns and I think it's going to have 2 pictures on each side. So I don't want it to be too wide. I'm gonna step back and see what it looks like. I'm gonna come back in and kind of tweak a few things, but this is our finished product. Again, the flowers that we used are mostly standard roses. We used a green tea rose. We used a deep purple, which is the name of that variety. I used a heart rose, and we used a confetti. Then we used mini green hydrangeas. I used some pretty wax flower. We used orange spray rose, which is called an orange babe, and then a yellow spray rose. And then the greenery we used is pittosporum. Guys, thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions about how we do things here at the flower shop, you can always ask. You can ask right here in the comments, or you can send us an email or even a message over on Messenger on Facebook. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed to our channel, please be sure to hit the subscribe button, and that little bell next to it will give you notifications for when we have a new video. Thanks, guys.